Good morning, people. My name is John Burroughs. I'm here in the offices of Chronicles Press. Well, actually, I misspoke. The office, although there is a second room where I do my assembly. I guess you could call that office also. So, offices. I'm going to correct my correction. Anyway, it was brought to my attention the other day. Somebody uh, had appreciated some videos I made a couple of years ago, reading from Fernando Pessoa's The Book of Disquiet, and it reminded me of how so many times I begin so many things, and I'm doing so many things for so many people, myself, family, uh, maybe a job, maybe the community, um, maybe for vanity, who knows. And I always eventually get things done, and I keep extensive to-do lists. I've got like 3, 4, 5 clipboards full of to-do lists, and you'll see they're in various states of being crossed off as I accomplish tasks. But one of the things I want to do is read more Pessoa. I finished reading the book, at least. I haven't even finished reading it. I got about halfway through it, but it's one of those books that I really like to sit and dwell on a section for a long time. There's just so much meat that just puts me in a place, or I'm in a place that relates to it, or whatever. In some way, I can eat so much and I'm fully satisfied, and I want more, but I'm content to wait for more. And so now a couple of years have passed, and I'm back to the book. And I'm going to read 2 texts from the book today. One is a very, very short one, and one is a very long one, picking up right where I left off. The long one kind of expands on the first one, as you will see. This is translated by Richard Zenith, Penguin Classics edition. And we'll begin with text 234. We can die if all we've done is love. We can die if all we've done is love. That's it. Now, I doubt Pessoa used the contraction in the original Spanish, but Mr. Zenith saw fit. Number 235. Only once was I truly loved. I've always been treated in a friendly manner, and even people I hardly know have rarely been rude or brusque or cold to me. In certain people, that friendly manner, with my encouragement, might have been converted into love or affection, but I've never had the patience or mental concentration to even want to make the effort. At first I thought, so little do we know ourselves, that shyness was to blame for my soul's apparent apathy in this matter, but I came to realize that it actually had to do with the tedium I felt vis-a-vis emotions, not to be confused with the tedium of life. I didn't have the patience to commit myself to an ongoing feeling, especially when it would require an ongoing effort. What for? Thought the part of me that doesn't think. I have enough intellectual subtlety and psychological insight to know how. The how of how is what has always escaped me. My weakness of will has always begun as a weakness of will to have any will. This was the case in my emotions as well as in my intellect, and in my very will, and in all my dealings with life. But on that occasion, when circumstances mischievously led me to suppose that I loved, and to verify that the other person truly loved me, my first reaction was of bewildered confusion, as if I'd won a grand prize in an unconvertible currency. And then, because no human can avoid being human, I felt a certain vanity. This emotion, however, which would seem to be the most natural one, quickly vanished. It was followed by an uncomfortable feeling that's hard to define, but that was composed of tedium, of humiliation, and of weariness. Of tedium, as if fate had obliged me to occupy my free evenings with some strange and unfamiliar labor. Of tedium, as if a new duty, that of a hideous reciprocity, had been ironically foisted on me as a privilege for which I was expected to thank fate profusely. Of tedium, as if the irregular monotony of life weren't enough, so that on top of that I needed the obligatory monotony of a definite feeling. And of humiliation. Yes, humiliation. It took me a while to understand the presence of this feeling that seemed not at all justified by its cause. I should have loved being loved. It should have piqued my vanity that someone had heaped attention on me as a lovable human being. But apart from my brief feeling of actual vanity, and even that may have consisted of surprise more than of vanity itself, what I experienced was humiliation. I felt I had been given someone else's prize, a prize that was worth something only to the person who rightfully deserved it. But most of all, I felt weariness, a weariness beyond all tedium. I finally understood a phrase of Chateaubriand whose meaning, because of my lack of personal experience, had always eluded me. Chateaubriand writes of René, his personification, "It wearied him to be loved. On le fatigué en l'aimant." I guess I pronounced that correctly, I don't know. I realized with astonishment that this experience was identical to my own, and so I couldn't deny its validity. The weariness of being loved, of being truly loved, the weariness of being the object of other people's burdensome emotions, of seeing yourself, when what you wanted was to remain forever free, transformed into a delivery boy whose duty it is to reciprocate, to have the decency not to flee, lest anyone think you're cavalier towards emotions and would reject the loftiest sentiment that a human soul can offer. The weariness of your existence becoming absolutely dependent on a relationship with someone else's feeling. The weariness of having to feel something, of having to love at least a little in return, even if it's not a true reciprocity. As it came, so it went. And today, nothing of that shadowy episode remains in my intellect or in my emotions. It brought me no experience that I couldn't have deduced from the laws of human life, which I instinctively know because I'm human. It gave me no pleasure to look back on with regret, nor sorrow to remember with equal regret. It all seems like something I read somewhere, like an incident that happened to someone else, a novel I read halfway through and whose second half was missing, but I didn't care that it was missing because the first half of the story was all there, and although it made no sense, I realized that no sense could ever be made of it, regardless of what happened in the part that was missing. All that remains is my feeling of gratitude towards the one who loved me. But it's an abstract, bewildered gratitude, more intellectual than emotional. I'm sorry that I caused someone to feel sorrow. I'm sorry about that. And only about that. It's unlikely that life will bring me another encounter with natural emotions. I almost wish it would, to see how I'd react the second time, after having thoroughly analyzed the first experience. I might feel less emotion, or I might feel more. If fate should bring it, then well and good. I'm curious about my emotions, whereas I don't have the least curiosity about facts, whatever they are, or will yet be. You know what, I'm going to go on and read 236 too, because what the hell, right? To submit to nothing, whether to a man or a love or an idea, and to have the aloof independence of not believing in the truth, or even, if it existed, in the usefulness of knowledge, or in the usefulness of knowing it. This seems to me the right attitude for the intellectual inner life of those who can't live without thinking. To belong is synonymous with banality. Creeds, ideals, a woman, a profession, all are prisons and shackles. To be is to be free. Even ambition, if we take pride in it, is a hindrance. We wouldn't be proud of it if we realized it's a string by which we're pulled. No ties even to ourselves, free from ourselves as well as from others. Contemplatives without ecstasy, thinkers without conclusions, and liberated from God, we will live the few moments of bliss allowed us in the prison yard by the distraction of our executioners. Tomorrow we will face the guillotine, or if not tomorrow, then the day after. Let us stroll about in the sun before the end comes, deliberately forgetting all projects and pursuits. Without wrinkles, our foreheads will glow in the sun, and the breeze will be cool for those who quit hoping. I throw my pen against the slanted desk top and watch it roll down without bothering to catch it. I felt all of this without warning, and my happiness consists in this gesture of rage that I don't feel. Okay, so that is three selections. Those are three selections from the Book of Disquiet by Fernando Pessoa. I should give the disclaimer that just because I relate to a lot of what he says and really dig it, does not mean I feel or agree with everything he said. So, this was not addressed to you, or to you, or to you, I mean, it was just, although some of it could be applied, I guess. Anyway, here I am in the Library of Chronicles Press. And you'll see I've got a lot of books, lots of reading to do. The reading never ends. I've got lots of to-do lists, as you will see down here. Okay, all over the friggin' floor, all over the keyboard. There's some... Oh, there's our printers. Hey. Oh, good juju. Got to keep that on hand at all times. It's an empty bottle. Don't worry, I'm not drinking this early in the morning. And oh, there's another to-do list up there. Look at that. Ooh, on my whiteboard. And here we are. Let me see if I can pull this back a little bit. More books to read. Down here are my to-read piles. These are like books of chapbooks I've recently bought, been given, or whatever. There's probably 200 in those couple of piles. And that's not counting everything else. You'll see here I have, next to my desk, my mom's watch, glasses, and brush. Mom passed away May 5th. Her birthday is coming up, her first birthday post passing, and that's on April 27th. And I've kept these things here. When she was in the hospital the last few months, I brushed her hair every day, and so I got a piece of Mom here. I also have, all these different things. Everything on these shelves has a meaning here. Oh my God! I got a goddamn Confederate flag. Well, actually, it's not just a. It's actually also a Union flag. It's a scene from the Battle of Gettysburg, the high tide. The cup actually came from Gettysburg. It was a gift from my Aunt Marlene. And I have I've got all kinds of. Let's see here. And some groovy art by Juliet, and some other groovy, the mouse that went to Mom's laptop is up there, along with the candle I got when I first came home from prison in 2004, and a mala from my friend. And lots of spinning. The world is spinning. The room is spinning. The world is spinning. And of course, my friend Helen might recognize this shirt from Shakespeare's Henry VI, I think, or Henry the Fourth. I don't know. Yeah, now that I can see. The first thing we do, let's kill all the lawyers. This is not a commentary on my lawyer friends either. I'm not advocating or anything like that, man. So anyway, it's just something to wear. I guess that's black today. It's a black day. So that's it, man. I'm rambling on and on when I should be working. And so I will do that. Peace, love, all of the above, and don't forget, it's National Poetry Month. This is the type of video you tend to think somebody makes when they have too much fucking time on their hands. I have not enough time on my hands, but anyway, that's it. Goodbye. See you later. Love you.